Can AVAX finally break out of this huge falling wedge pattern I've been talking about for the longest time sometime soon? Now, I think chances are a lot of these altcoins, including AVAX, are going to get a very good bounce from here. Okay, chances are. I'm just talking about probabilities here because nothing in this market is 100%. And why do I think that? Is because I see some very strong bottoming signals coming from Bitcoin. Okay, now, there is potentially limited downside for Bitcoin, but I do think that there is quite a bit of bottoming signals for Bitcoin, which is the driver of this crypto markets. I did a more detailed video on Bitcoin earlier today. I will link you guys at the end of this video. I never trade altcoins without a clear understanding of Bitcoin. Now, I am long on quite a bit of the altcoins here, so my opinions on these markets are bullish. But this is just what I'm doing personally, and these are just my opinions only. Like the entirety of this video, it's not financial advice. You guys gotta form your own opinions and strategies. Now, I've been talking about AVAX here, Avalanche, for the longest time, and this is on the weekly time frame, a falling wedge pattern that has been forming since March of last year. Basically, at the end of the last bullish wave, okay? And it has been forming this huge falling wedge pattern that has yet to break out. But if this actually does break out to the upside, which the probabilities are in favor of, the price targets, if it breaks out by this point, for example, which is basically you measure the opening of the pattern and then you put it on top of an estimated breakout point, the price target here would be right underneath $90 for AVAX. Now, price targets are also estimates only, okay? A lot of which, in the case of these altcoins, do depend on what happens with Bitcoin. If Bitcoin starts dumping, that could drag quite a bit of these altcoins lower, and these technical analysis setups, they're not going to mean as much. All right, also want to bring you guys up to date with what happened last time with AVAX. I talked about a falling wedge scenario last time on this daily time frame that broke to the upside. I have invalidated that pattern because it broke to the upside and it fell way short of its price targets. Okay, and what I do in that scenario when patterns get invalidated, I see if I can rechart the pattern here. Okay. And what I'm seeing here is another falling wedge pattern here, where the bears actually try to break down from this about November 5th, okay? And we do have some previous attempts to breach the pattern on both sides, but neither side was successful. As you guys see, candle wicks outside of the pattern, but candle wicks do not invalidate patterns. Now, what I'm seeing here is a potential rebound, right? Since AVAX has touched down to that bottom trend line again to about just right underneath $13. Now, this is a falling wedge pattern, a smaller falling wedge pattern here. If this breaks to the upside by this point, for example, price target would be almost $20 for AVAX, which is still a pretty significant move for a bigger altcoin like Avalanche. So this is basically what I'm seeing for Avalanche. There is going to be some resistance along the way. Notably, your daily moving averages are going to be your resistance. Some key resistances, not exhaustive. There's going to be others, but those are some key resistances. Your daily 21 SMA is about just right above $15. Daily 50 SMA is going to be currently about $19, but that's coming down. So let's see if AVAX can actually hit this smaller price target before breaking out of that bigger falling wedge pattern. So this basically wraps up for AVAX today. Let me know if you guys want to continue seeing any more of AVAX or any other coins in this market by dropping a like, comment, subscribe. I'll pick a request to do for you guys on a daily basis, and I'll see you on the next one.